Hello. So, what I'm gonna be doing for y'all today is I'm gonna be drilling this tank right here that you see. This is a 6 foot long tank, 6 foot by about 18 inches by 22 inches, almost a 120 gallon tank. The glass is about 5/8 thick glass that I'll be drilling through. Everything that I ordered off the internet, off Amazon, very cheaply. I didn't pay much for it. We'll go over that in a little bit later. Just a little backstory on the tank. Tank's been set up for about a year. I have some LED black boxes up here at the top. I have overflows, PVC pipe overflows that I had set up. And the issue I'm having is that the overflows, I got some snails in there that died, and the shells are stopping it up, and I'm not getting the circulation I want for my tank. The main tank is trying to overflow on me instead of going into the overflows it's supposed to. So what we're going to do here is we're going to drill this tank right here. I have about 12 fish in there. I have a few feather dusters and one piece of coral here that I want to try to salvage. So I'm going to take all of this stuff out, drain the tank, clean it, drill it, and then refill it. And that's what I'm going to try to do on this video here, and I'll show y'all step by step. Okay, just so that you can see, this is my sump here. I don't have a regular sump on a saltwater tank like most people do. There's my ROD system. My drain comes from the main tank right here into my bucket. I have some pot scrubbies and whatnot in my bucket here with my mechanical filter. I actually have a pump down in the bottom of the bucket that pumps it back up into the sump. So the water comes from my overflows into the bucket, pumps it back up into here, goes down through this PVC pipe down into my sand bed filter right here. My sand bed filter is a little low because I'm going to be getting rid of that, and I'm going to be going to some micro Mt1 or something like that filter. But anyways, then the water goes through there, flows off the top of that little overflow there into my sump part here. For my sump, I just have some sand, a few live rocks, um, and then from there I have another little bubble trap that I got another mechanical filter for, just to catch some of anything that might come out of there. I have another one of them black boxes I was telling you about from Amazon right here to light up my sump. And then it goes into this last compartment right here where I have another pump, and this last pump pumps it back into the main tank through this hose and back in through the PVC pipe. All these little valves and stuff I have set up so that way I can change it however I want, control the flow. If I want it just to circulate in my sump, I can circulate it in my sump. If I want to circulate just my main tank, I can do that too. Here's a picture of that MK1 filter, media filter I'll be replacing that sand with. Um, I'll be doing that towards the end of this video, but that's what it looks like right there. Hopefully I'll be able to get it to work pretty good. I'm going to be putting this little compartment right here that you see at the very beginning. As you can see, the sand, it doesn't stay in here that well. It bubbles out and trickles into my sump, and that's the reason why I'm getting rid of the sand part. But that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. Here we have the items that I got from Amazon. First off, I have bought a set of diamond hole saws, diamond bit, I guess you could say, hole saws to cut glass. This one right here is a 45mm hole saw. You can see the diamond bits at the end here to cut this glass. 45mm is what I needed to cut my hole for my bulkhead, which is right here. As you can see, it's going to be more than enough to cut the hole there. I ordered these bulkheads and the hole saws off Amazon. Bulkhead is a 1-inch diameter bulkhead. There's a gasket here in the middle which goes on the inside of the tank and seals it so that way it doesn't leak. The nut here on the back side screws in and tightens the whole thing up, and then on the inside here is where I glue the pipe, the PVC pipe, and glue it on the inside right here. That's how I'm going to be plumbing that part. Now I'll be drilling 3 holes, 2 bulkheads for the return line, and one right here is going to be for, this is going to be for my return line. The return line is 3/4 inch bulkhead, which will be going in the center of the tank. and that's so that way the water can come back from my sump. And that's the way we have it now. Alright, so first order of business we had to do is I had to take all my rocks out. Well, not all my rocks. I wanted to just take the rocks out that didn't have anything attached to it that was alive, that I needed to keep under the water. So here I am taking the rocks out one by one, putting them in this tote right here that I have, and I'm going to be bringing them in the back where my sump is, and putting them back in water once I have all of them out. I have to take I have to go slow with this because I gotta make sure all my snails and my hermit crabs are off of them. I don't want to leave them out of water for too long. And then the other thing is that as I remove the rocks, the my water level is gonna go down. Not really that much, but it's going down enough to where it won't circulate anymore on its own. So I already turned my pumps off, so that way it won't circulate, and that way I won't have any problems with anything messing up there. So I'm just gonna take one at a time, go through here and get all these rocks in this tote that I can that has that don't have anything live on it. Just taking my time and making sure that all my critters are off of there that I want to keep, and trying not to make too much of a mess. I'm gonna I'll speed this part up a little bit. Alright, so I got most of the rocks I want to keep out in the shed here, in this tote here, but I don't want to leave them dry. I want to actually get them wet, so I'm going to put them in my sump. So what I've done is I've prepared the place where the fish are going to go here in this tote, this larger tote. I have this hose coming from the top that's going to run from my sump down into here. Then I have this other pump in the bottom here that's going to pump the water back up into my sump to circulate the water for the fish. I'm only going to be keeping them here for 24 hours, maybe 36 hours at the most. So the circulation is not really necessary, I guess, as long as I don't feed them, but I do want to circulate the water through them just to make sure nothing does die. So I know this is not ideal, but this is what I have to work with for this little setup, so this is what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm finishing up getting all those rocks out, and I'm going to bring them into the shed and put them in the bottom of that tote. Just going to place them as flat as I can so that way I don't have to fill it up too much with water in order to keep them wet. Also, the fish are going to be going in here too, so I want to keep them kind of flat so that way the fish have a little room to swim around in. A few hermit crabs right there. And that's going to be all the audio I'm recording. Back to get some more rocks. Alright, so before I can get any more live rocks, I do have to fill up that tote with some water. So what I'm doing is I'm rigging up this little pump I got here. I'm going to pump some water into my tote and transport it into the shed to fill up the rocks, the tote that I have the rocks in. So that's the little thing that's going on right now. I still have fish in this aquarium. I haven't taken out any fish yet. I haven't moved any of the rocks that have any of my coral or anything live on it. So it's just a matter of transporting the water to the back where I have the tote on the ground. Um, this this process goes pretty quick with this pump, but probably not that quick. So I won't make y'all sit through the whole thing. I'm gonna speed it up. So. Alright, so I got the tote pretty full with water, probably not completely full, but it's pretty heavy. So, and this is just a little clip of me pouring it into the other tote in the shed there. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to repeat this process until I have enough water in the tote to cover the rocks and start circulating the water through the sump. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just setting up the cycle there so that way my pump can circulate the water from the sump into my little tote that I have. The problem is as you can see, I'm adjusting all my little valves and stuff right here. The valves are so that way I can control it, because one pump is stronger than the other pump. So I gotta constantly adjust the valves so that way the tote doesn't overflow with water or doesn't run out of water. So that's what I'm explaining, and that's what I'm doing right here so that way I can get it set up. I'm gonna have to constantly watch this over the 24-hour period that the fish are gonna be in here so that way it doesn't run out of water or overflow, one or the other. But that's what's going on here. This is gonna be the end of part one. I'll have several parts of this because it's an extremely long process, and I don't want to have to bore y'all if y'all want to skip around from part to part or whatever. In the next section is whenever I'm actually going to get the fish out. I'll clean the tank and start on the whole drilling process. Thank y'all for watching. If y'all like this video, y'all thought it was helpful, drop me a like, and let's continue with part two. Thank you.